Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for thou hast smitten all mine enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord. Thy blessing is upon thy people. There's a lot of pausing in there and reflecting. Yes? Why was that psalm written? Huh? David was fleeing from Absalom, his son, who was hell-bent on killing him. Yes? Now that is some kind of grief. You don't know where, it's just such tortured emotions I'm sure he must have gone through. So yes, sometimes when relatives turn on you, yes, yeah, the psalmist wrote psalms, yes. In Psalm 109, yes, we have another occasion for psalm writing. In fact, all of them are, but I'm just pointing out Psalm 109. Because the second verse says, for the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are opened against me, and they have spoken against me with a lying. No, Dale, don't give those out yet. No. With a lying tongue. So sometimes people tell lies about you, yes? And they hurt so badly that you pick up your pen and write a psalm and sing about it, yes? All right, so Melva says no. Sometimes we do other things. We don't pick up our pens and write, yeah? But the psalmist did. All right. Now, back to the thing that makes Hebrew poems poetic. We said it wasn't rhyming, yes? Yeah? If it's not rhyming, then what is it? Yes, there is a cadence to all poetry, I think, yes. You know, that melody, yes, that internal melody that they have. But it is something that is called parallelism, yes? Now, we have parallelism in our own English, right? In our own language, yeah? Now, when we use parallelism in English, we use it for rhetorical effect, so that it appeals to the ear, appeals to the eyes, yes? Appeals to the emotions even when we write using parallelism. And when we write using parallelism, we can construct that parallel construction with either a series of words or a series of phrases or a series of clauses. It doesn't matter. It just needs a series. Those words, those single words, the series might be all nouns. They have to be all the same. They might be all adjectives, they might be all verbs, and so on and so forth. All right, so let me just point out some parallel structures that you've already heard about, most of them anyway, yeah? Lock, stock, and barrel. Yeah? You see how that appeals to your hearing? It's even visually, effective if you stop and think about it. How about stop, drop, and roll? Yeah? Parallel structures. In the first one, there were 3 nouns. Second one, there were 3 verbs. It doesn't have to be 3, by the way. No, it could be as many as you want, but after a while it gets stale if you keep doing that. All right. Now, how about what you see is what you get? There's another parallel structure in English. What you see is what you get, where you have 2 phrases, yeah? What you see, what you get, yeah? And they are paired together. How about this one? One small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. That's a parallel structure where you have a noun phrase, one small step, followed by a prepositional phrase, for man, in the first half of the sentence. And in the second half of the sentence, you have a noun phrase, which is one giant leap, followed by a prepositional phrase, which is for mankind. So one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. And you don't even know that you've been manipulated rhetorically, yeah? To cause you to remember that, because it's written in parallel form, all right? For those of us who are older, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Yeah? Yeah, we know that one. In for a penny, in for a pound, yes? And you can even put sentences together in parallel form. Here's one. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think. Yes, that's all in one sentence, yeah? Parallel structure. But the Old Testament especially kicks up parallelism a notch, yeah? Makes it even better. It doesn't just repeat the structure, it repeats the thought, yeah? The thought is repeated, yeah? You know, you say sometimes, do not repeat yourself when you're writing an essay, right? Yes, do not be redundant. But this is no redundancy in the Old Testament. This is how it works. The first line of the psalm, or the parallel structure, whatever it is, will state the idea. Then the second one will repeat the idea using different words. But it is the idea that hits you twice or three times, as the case may be. Let me give you an example. No, I'm not going to give you an example right now. Hang on a second. All right. So we have parallelism as the main structure of poetry in the Hebrew Bible. But the different types of parallel structures, yes? The most common is the example did I give you an example? No, I didn't. So the most common is called synonymous parallelism, yeah? Where the first line is the same in idea and thought as the second line, yes? Take Psalm 24. You want to turn to Psalm 24 for me, please? I don't know about the newer versions, but you definitely see it most clearly in the King James Version. Psalm 24. Where is she? Right there. Yeah? What does it say? That first verse. Keep going.
The earth is the Lord's and all its fullness, the world and those who dwell therein.
Do you see the parallel structure? Yes? The first line says, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. And the second line says, the world, which is another way of saying the earth, right? And they that dwell therein is another way of saying the fullness thereof. Yes? If that is not clear, let's try the next one. The next verse, verse 2. For he hath founded it upon the seas. Yes? And he has established it upon the floods. Yeah, upon the floods is similar to saying upon the seas, right? So the thought is repeated twice. Okay? Psalm 1 and verse 5, which is, I think, maybe the first psalm I ever learned. Maybe I learned Psalm 23 first. I don't know. But I know I had to know this one for school for sure. Yes? Psalm 1 and verse 5 says, therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment. That's the first line. Nor sinners, who are the ungodly, in the congregation of the righteous. Yes? Which is in the judgment. Yeah? Parallel thoughts. Now there is antithetical parallelism. Yeah? The first one is synonymous, where the first line and the second line complement each other because they are the same idea. In this one, the first one states the thought, and the second one gives us the opposite of the thought. So we have antithetical parallelism. Yeah? While we are in Psalm 1, let's look at verse 6. It says, for the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous. But, see that but? But the way of the ungodly shall perish. Yes? In other words, the second line is antithetical to the first line. Okay? Now, in the Bible, if it's not synonymous parallelism, and if it's not antithetical parallelism, it's called synthetic parallelism, which is to say everything else. And it's a really big, wide bag of stuff that falls under synonymous parallelism, because it can go in a variety of other ways. All right? One, the second sentence or the second idea might compare to the first idea, as in, as a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear him. Yeah? Comparison. Those who fear him are compared. The way the Lord has compassion on those he loves is compared to the way a father has compassion on his son. Yeah? All right. So that's just one. It's comparison. It might be because it's the result of something, yeah? Or the reason for something that creates the parallelism. It says, fear the Lord, you his saints, for those who fear him lack nothing. So the reason or the result of fearing him is because they lack nothing. Yeah? And then some of them just complete the thought without any rhyme or reason, as in, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever, right? There is no really, it just advances the thought. There is no comparison, there's no result, there's no reason. It simply advances a thought. All right. When you read Proverbs, you see a lot of statements that says, better this than that. Yes? That's another kind of synthetic parallelism. So it is better to heed a wise man's rebuke than to listen to the song of fools, right? All right? Do we love good songs? Sometimes some bad songs too. Do we love songs? Yes. Do we like rebuke? No.